So today I'm going to share with you 3 things that I do every day that I believe are responsible for all of my success. These 3 things have allowed me to build and sell 4 companies, to travel the world. I've had the privilege to visit over 30 countries. And these 3 things are the reason why I'm the CEO of Live Bearded today and why we've had so much success. Stay tuned. I believe it's our responsibility as men to do better every day, to learn from our mistakes, grow through our failures, and work to become the best that we can be. In past episodes on Mink in the Morning, we've talked about success, and I've shared with you guys that I believe success is what we repeatedly do, that it's a habit, that it's a ritual in a way that we behave. And today I want to share with you the 3 behaviors that I've developed in my life that I truly believe have led to all the success that I've had and have ultimately brought me here in front of you today. And I want to share with you these experiences from my life in hopes that they'll inspire you and encourage you to develop some of these rituals in yours. So the number one thing I do every single day is develop mental toughness. And what I mean by that is I do something every day that I don't want to do, but I know is going to be beneficial to me in the long run. So an example of this might be, right now, for example, I am running 1 mile every single day. And for some of you, 1 mile might be super easy. For others, it might be a mountain to climb. For me, I don't really like running that much. It kind of sucks. I'm not a fan of it. And it's something that I felt like is a good obstacle in my path. So every morning I get up and I go to the gym, and before I do anything, I run a mile. And over the last few weeks, I started at a 10-minute mile, and then a 9, and then an 8, and now I'm at like the 7-minute mile mark. And every day something happens, and it's a magical moment that I want to share with you guys. You see, I'm on that treadmill and I'm running. I'm like, this fucking sucks. This fucking sucks. And then I get about halfway through, and my legs start to hurt. I'm breathing heavy, and my mind says, all right, it's time to stop. And for a moment, I'm like, all right, I'm done. And then the embracing mental toughness, the developing willpower kicks in, and it's like, no, motherfucker, this is when it begins. I really believe that in order to truly develop mental toughness in our lives, we have to push through the fears, the doubts, the insecurities. We have to push through the physical pain, the emotional challenges, just all of that stuff that really, where we hit our limit, where we come up against our comfort zone. The only way to really develop that mental toughness is to push through that. And so metaphorically in my life, I do physical things that allow me to develop that mental toughness. And I believe it's the best thing to do. You develop mental toughness through physical discomfort. It's just a fact of life. I've done ice baths, I've done running, weightlifting, but I believe that in order to really be successful at anything, you have to develop a mental toughness about you that allows you to push through pain, fears, obstacles, and failure. Now that leads us to number 2. The number 2 thing, the habit that I've developed, is to embrace failure. If I'm developing mental toughness, that's giving me the ability to push through the obstacles, the pain, and the failure. And ultimately, brothers, if you're going to do anything worthwhile in life, you're going to have to fail. I truly believe that the faster that I fail, the closer I am to success, the closer I am to a breakthrough. And there's tons of examples of this. I've actually shared examples from super successful people in past episodes on Mink in the Morning. The premise is, if you're afraid to fail, you're never going to accomplish anything in life. You got to look at failure not as something negative, not as a setback, but an opportunity to learn and grow through something that didn't work. Embrace failure, and I guarantee you're on your path to success. Now, the third thing that I do every single day, honestly, it's the toughest thing that I've had to do in my life, but it's believing in myself. In past episodes, I've shared a little bit with you about my father. You know, he was an abusive alcoholic growing up. I love him to death, but every day he said, you're a worthless piece of shit. You're not good enough. You'll never amount to anything. And I'll be honest with you, brothers, after a while I started believing that shit. And I'd look in the mirror and I'd see a failure. I'd look in the mirror and I'd see someone who wasn't good enough. And every day I battled with like my desires and my hopes and my dreams and this idea of not being good enough. And it's been one of the most difficult things, one of the hardest journeys of my life is to get to a place where I truly believe in myself. And the only way I've gotten there is by doing number 1 and 2. By developing a mental toughness that when I look in the mirror and I say, you're a failure, I say, no. I've pushed through. I've went straight into the fire and I've came out the other side. I've failed over and over and over again. And that is why I succeed. Developing the mental toughness and fighting through the failure is actually what has given me the opportunity to believe in myself. And it's these 3 things, brothers, that have allowed me to be in this position. They're responsible for all of the failure that I've had in life and all of the success that I've had in life. And I just wanted to share them with you today because I believe on your path, you really truly have to develop mental toughness if you're going to succeed. You've got to do things that you don't want to do, things that push you beyond what you're capable of so that you can learn to do them. You've got to be willing to fail so that the fear of failure doesn't hold you back. And lastly, you've got to believe in yourself because the truth is no one else will. I'll leave you guys with this. I truly believe that in this life, you can go as far as you're willing to grow. If you're willing to grow and develop that mental toughness, grow and fight through that failure, and grow a belief in yourself that you are capable, that you can accomplish what you want. If you can grow through and into those beliefs, you'll be unstoppable. And that's my hope for you, brothers. I'll see you guys next week.